Hey Lyric Arts fans, it's Joanna Diem here with my good friend Bob New, who is the director of Leading Ladies. And I kind of tagged Bob to do a little interview with us to get us behind the scenes and what's happening with Leading Ladies. Welcome, Bob.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
So Bob, why don't you tell us what, for those of us that don't know about Leading Ladies, what it's all about?
Well, Leading Ladies is a farce. A farce is a show that's just ridiculously funny. It has a plot that's loose and kind of ridiculous. It has characters that are over the top. I can't say that it has big social redeeming qualities about it, which is fine, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But it's just a hilarious comedy. It's about two men who are British actors who are kind of down and out in their luck, and they're touring their Shakespeare show in Pennsylvania in 1958. And through a whole bunch of weird circumstances, they find out that a local woman, a very wealthy woman, has passed away, and there's a way that they can inherit the money that she's leaving, but at the last minute they find out they have to pose as women as her two long-lost nieces. So men in drag, happy times.
Hilarious.
And then, yes, and hilarity ensues from there.
Yeah.
And there are all kinds of complications, and people fall in love with the wrong people and fall out of love and have fights with the wrong people, and of course a happy ending, and it's fantastic stuff.
Perfect time for this time of the year when we're just getting done with summer, and you need something to kind of end the summer in a good note.
Well, and it's also, I think, a perfect time because these are kind of hard times. The
Yes.
economy's horrible, and everybody's fighting in Congress, but so that's why I think this has social redemption.
Yes.
Because you come for 2 hours. You can just laugh. You can have a really wonderful time. I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking in the theater and deep thoughts in the theater. I encourage that. This is not a show that necessarily needs that. You can just have fun and forget about what's happening on CNN and
The
Fox
world around.
News and exactly.
Yeah. So Bob, if you want to tell the listeners why you wanted to direct this play.
Oh, I wanted to direct this play because it is a farce. I've never done a farce before. They're very difficult to do because they require just precision timing. It's one of those where there's a character comes in just as one leaves, and doors have to slam at exactly the right time, and you have to really get this sort of manic pace going. But yet it has to be intelligible to the audience. You have to know where the laughs are.
Right.
So it's really...
Timing is key.
Yeah. There's an old saying in the theater that dying is easy, comedy is hard. And that's true. So I wanted to do the piece because it scared me. It scared me just because of the craft you need, and how you have to work so closely with your actors to kind of just find the right tone for it.
And who doesn't like a little challenge in their life?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me then a little bit about the cast, because this cast is amazing.
It's amazing.
We actually only have one person in this cast that is new to Lyric Arts. All the rest are old favorites from Lyric Arts. So can you talk about how this cast is going to bring this play to a new level?
Well, yeah, there are only 8 people in this cast, so everybody has a lot of heavy lifting to do.
Yes.
Because it's just a very
In
small
heels.
cast. Yeah, in heels. And I would say I knew half the cast, and I've worked with, I think, about half the cast before, and a couple people that I really wanted to work with and not had the opportunity. And there were a couple roles I was really stressed about. The 2 male leads are very hard to cast because they're gigantic roles, just as far as the number of lines you have to learn.
Sure.
And it's so physical, and tons of costume changes, and they have to be real comic specialists.
Yeah.
And really be very bold in their acting.
And really on it.
Oh, they have to be just outrageous, and they have to wear 5-inch heels.
Right. Not an easy task, even for ladies.
And so when these 2 particular guys, Matt Berdahl and Keith Riley, came in, and the readings they gave, I knew right away. I'd worked with Matt before.
Okay.
I'd wanted to work with Keith for a long time because he's
Sure.
a regular here, and I think he's fantastic.
Yes.
So when they came in and read so beautifully, I was thrilled. Then Amber came in, who plays the love interest of Keith. And I knew they were married. I'd worked with Amber before here at Lyric Arts. I love Amber. She gave a beautiful reading. I thought it would just be fun to cast those 2 together since they play a couple who end up falling in love. Plus, she was just perfect for the role. She's the straight lady. She doesn't get a lot of the jokes.
Right.
She has to set up the jokes, but that's very hard to do. You
That
have to
is.
be a very clean actor, and she's really a master at that.
Wow.
And then Tom Gorger, who's a great friend of mine, and I've worked with him quite a few times. It had to be, he's sort of the ex-football player, maybe not terribly bright. Not that Tom, you're brilliant, it's not that. But he just physically was so right for it, and I knew that he had a good comic sensibility. And then we found these other folks that I didn't know, that I was a little stressed out about a couple of the roles because they're very specific types.
Right.
And these couple of people walked in and they were physically so right. I was just thinking, please be a decent actor.
Right. Please not have a lot of conflicts.
And they were. And
Okay.
it just really, this cast came together beautifully.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, it just kind of sounds like it was meant to be. It was kismet. It was
Just
kind of.
You get that feeling sometimes with
Yeah.
casts, and this is one of those. And it's also a group of actors who work really hard. I mean, right now we're taping this about an hour before rehearsal starts. The entire cast is in there on their own volition to do some extra rehearsing on their own. I mean, that's the kind of mentality they have.
Huge points there.
Yeah. So, and they're just a group of nice people that want everybody to succeed, and we're just having a lot of fun, but we're working really hard.
Right. So what is something that our viewers, because of course everyone want to come and see this show, that you think is really like the bright point of the show, or it's just like, oh, that's what makes this show
Oh my
for you?
goodness. Oh my goodness, that's really hard to say. I think some of the comic interactions of when the two men first come in as ladies, and everybody's in on the joke except the people on stage.
Right.
But they don't know that, so they have to sort of play men playing women playing men playing women. So they have to do a lot of kind of, making sure that they're not found out, even though we're all in on the joke.
Okay.
Which is part of the conceit of farce, of course. And I think it's quite hysterical. I mean, the choices they're making. There's also a brilliant, brilliant sword fight to look forward to. Brilliant sword
I have seen it. It's quite excellent. So
It definitely is.
So definitely. Well, Bob, I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with us before rehearsal. I know you have to get going, but thank you for coming out and answering my questions.
Of course.
And of course, if you want to come see Leading Ladies, come join us September 9th through the 25th. We are going to have a grand old time. It's the first show of our 2011-2012 season. So come out and join us.
And it's not if, it's when you come to see it. You'll have a wonderful time.
When you come and see it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you.